Hello, everybody. A very warm welcome along to Sportsbet TV with me, Paul Alster, coming to you from Italy today, where I'm on holiday, dodging monsoon-like rain conditions. But it's much needed here, so I shan't complain too much about that. It's great to be with you, and I'm looking forward to offering you two selections, actually, for this weekend, both of them at the Scottish Grand National meeting at Ayr. That will be coming up very shortly indeed. Now, if you're new to the service, a service that looks to always offer horses at good each-way prices, then just press the subscribe button just below this screen. And then every time I post a new batch of selections, you'll get a message, or there'll be some sort of an alert showing that there's a new video up for you to take a butcher's at. So we've got 1 week to Aintree. The Grand National meeting is next weekend, always one of the most exciting sporting events on the calendar. And next week, I'll be offering you a bulletin on the Wednesday, which will have all my tips for Thursday and Friday, the first 2 days of the Aintree fixture. And then next Friday, I'll have my choice for the Grand National and probably one or two other big races on Grand National Day. But I really am interested to know what you're thinking at the moment. So if you have a horse that has caught your eye in the national field, then feel free to post about it in the comments section just below this. It's almost like a bit of a community we have here of people following me at Sportsbet, and it's nice just to hear how everybody's thinking. It won't probably affect my choice too much, but it's always nice for people to offer their thoughts, and also, as I do, select why you think it has a chance of running well. So that's for Aintree next week. Let's just very quickly look at last week, which wasn't very good, actually. Things went wrong. It was one of those weeks where things just didn't go right for us. There were 3 selections. 2 of them had very sound excuses. The first was Headscarf Lil, who was almost brought down very early on in the piece. She never quite recovered after that, clearly wasn't able to run her race. The other one was the heavily gambled Amethyst, which I recommended at good double figure odds. He went off fairly short relatively in the Lincoln. He burst a blood vessel, I'm afraid. It does happen occasionally, and the horse was all but pulled up in the closing stages, so you can ignore that run. The other one was Sir Jack Thomas, who ran his race in that huge field in the Irish Lincolnshire to finish in mid-division, but he just wasn't good enough at 50 to 1. On this occasion, I think he'll pop up at a price later on in the season. He's normally comes to the boil mid-season, although he has gone well fresh in the past, as I mentioned last week. So those were our 3 last week who didn't hit the target. But I'm hoping that the 2 I have here that I've taken time out from me jollies to tell you about, I'm really hopeful they're going to go well for us at Ayr. Now, the first of them, in this shorter than usual budget, goes in the 225 at Ayr on Saturday, the Scottish Champion Hurdle. There are 9 runners. The going is good to soft. It is also, or always rather, a very competitive high-end 2-mile handicap. And it was won last year by Milkwood for the Neil Mulholland stable, who won it off £8 lower than he's going to attempt to defy this time around. He went on to finish an excellent second to Soldier in the Galway Hurdle. So this is a very good handicapper. He did have a crack at steeplechasing, went novice chasing in the autumn, didn't really take to it, and I think they decided to shelve that plan and give him 6 months off, so he comes back fresh. But he wouldn't be far away, but I think he's got all on to win it for a second time. West Cork for Dan and Harry Skelton is a big danger. He won the Great Wood Hurdle in November, and his latest fine 4th to State Man in the County Hurdle at the Cheltenham Festival reads really well. He might be a horse, though, that needs a bigger field to really have a strong pace to run off. So I think he is one to fear, but I wouldn't probably be recommending him. And then of the others, Neil King's One More for the Road is a rock-solid horse. He finished 3 places ahead of West Cork at Ascot in December behind Tritonic, and latest run was went 4th in the Imperial Cup behind Surprise Package. He's one that I fear. One More for the Road. But my choice in this race is the Irish challenger, BUNINA. And BUNINA is trained by John McConnell and the mount of Sean Bowen. Now, BUNINA actually ran in this Scottish champion hurdle 12 months ago, and she came second. She was beaten 3/4 of a length by Milkwood, and is now £13, nearly a stone better off for less than 4 lengths. So you can see why on the figures alone, she has a rock solid chance. Now, she was off 8 months after her run in the Scottish champion hurdle. To be honest, she had 2 very lacklustre runs, quiet runs, shall we call them, that saw her handicap mark come down. But then she ran much better at Musselburgh last time out when she finished 3rd back in February behind Socialist Agenda. Now, she's now down to a rating of 130, which is really competitive. And the good to soft ground, or if it dries out, will be absolutely ideal for her. She doesn't like soft ground. Now, when I looked at the race last night and picked her out, she was a 10-to-1 shot, BUNINA, but overnight into Friday and in Friday morning, this bulletin being recorded at noontime on Friday, the 10-to-1 has completely gone. So clearly, there is some confidence behind BUNINA, and she's now offered at 13-to-2 best price each way, and that is for 3 places with 888, Ladbrokes and Coral. So my choice to win the Scottish champion hurdle, the 225 at Ayr Saturday, is BUNINA. And then I'm going to take you on to the Scottish Grand National, always a cracking staying handicap chase, so many great memories in the race over the years. 4 miles is the trip, 24 runners, good to soft ground. Many firms are betting 7 places, so do remember to shop around to find the best place terms and the best fractional odds as well for the place, if you, like me, like to bet each way. Well, Welsh trainer Christian Williams has a really strong hand in the race this year. He's got Kitty's Light, who's the current 11-to-2 favourite and came right back to form last time out, when second at Kempton in the Old Racing Post chase behind Cap de Nor. He's gone up £3, but he has a cracking chance, does Kitty's Light. And Christian, and all credit to him and his owners, he's also running the Ida Chase winner, Win My Wings. And this one has gone up £8 since its win there at Newcastle, but is on a hat-trick, having previously won at Exeter. Any rain, I think, would help this mare. She really does like to get her toe in. The concern might be if the ground dries, it becomes too quick for her. Now, Irish trainer Peter Farhey is double-handed in this race. He's got Stormy Judge, who isn't really proven stamina-wise, but gives the impression he'll probably stay. And he's a horse who was 5th in the Leinster National on heavy ground last time out, but that was only over 3 miles. Another mile to travel this time round. And Peter also has History of Fashion, who's still a novice. Novices with a good record in the race, and he was 3rd in a novices handicap chase at Navan last time out. There's also John McConnell's runner, Streets of Doyen, who's a very likeable horse, and he would not be out of it, but I'm worried that he won't see out 4 miles. Now, last year, Cool Mix came 5th in the race for Ian Jardine, and he's back again off a £6 lower mark, on top of which he's got a good £7 claimer on. So on the figures, Cool Mix definitely would have a chance. And you've always to fear the Skeletons. They've got Ashtown Lad, who was only beaten 7 lengths by the very smart Ahoy Senor last time out. And he really is a classy novice, runs off 140. And novices do have a very good record in this race. But Sandy Thompson runs 2 in the race. He's got the top weight, a really classy horse, Hill 16. And he's booked the top Irish conditional rider, Mark McDonough, who claims a valuable £5. And this horse was only a length second last time out to Nutswell in the listed Premier chase at Kelso, and that is hot form. And earlier in the season, he was second to Snow Leopard Death in the Beecher chase over the Aintree Grand National fences. And she, of course, is a leading fancy for Aintree next week. Now, with the Scottish Grand National coming a week before Aintree, which is very unusual, a lot of trainers have had to decide whether to take their chance here and be sure of getting a run, or wait till next week and just hope they make the cut. And that's why I think that Sandy Thompson has decided to run Hill 16, because he might not have made the cut at Liverpool. He's a 25-to-1 chance. Now, that looks really big, and I really was very seriously considering him. But on balance, I've gone with his stable companion, and this is the Ferry Master, trained by Sandy Thompson, and the mount of Ryan Mania, who of course has won the Aintree National in the past with Aurora's Encore for Sue Smith. Now, I think the Ferry Master has been trained specifically for Scottish National. He was fourth in the race last year to Mighty Thunder, and he probably hit the front too soon. He led at the fourth last and was still banged there, 2 out. He then got outpaced before rallying again, going down to the last, but he only finished fourth on that occasion. It was an excellent run. And I think that if they'd had their time again, they would have waited with him a little bit longer to try and hit the front, probably between the last two or even after the last. And that's what I hope is going to be the case this time around. He's £5 lower this time. I'm hoping for the more patient ride. It is going to be his second start since a breathing operation. His first run back came at Newcastle when he was only beaten a neck in a modelling 3-runner race. That showed that his breathing is okay. He should be absolutely spot on. And I think that at 10-1 each way, the Ferry Master can go 3 places better than last year and win the Scottish National once again for Scotland, following Lucinda Russell's win with Mighty Thunder last year. And the 10-1 each way at the time of this recording is available for 7 places with Bet365 and Betfred. And it's quite possible that once the markets really get going Friday evening into Saturday morning, there may be even better value on offer. But for now, the Ferry Master is my call, and it wouldn't surprise me if his stable companion Hill 16 proved to be a proper danger. So that's my thoughts on air for this Saturday. I'm going to leave it at that. I look forward to hearing your views on the Grand National coming up at Aintree next week. And we'll, of course, have 2 bulletins, Wednesday for Thursday and Friday for the Saturday Grand National itself. But for now, from Italy, from me, Paul Alster, here at Sportsbet TV, I'll say goodbye and arrivederci. See you next week. Bye-bye for now.